What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all enjoying y'all Saturday. back at y'all with some more heat. Man, I've been wanting to do this thing for a minute, man. I've been really wanting to talk about Derek Fisher. And we gonna tell a little story. I'm gonna start doing this on Saturday nights. Talking about, telling basketball stories, because I got basketball stories for days. But I want to talk about Derek Fisher. That dude really disgusts me, man. Really. How can you do this you know, to a guy that was on your team? So if y'all don't know, which I know it's old, but I've been really I want to put it on this platform, and how can you do your teammate like that? But let me start the story. Well, if y'all don't know, it's an old story now, but um, reports came out, which is true, because then you see the picture, the picture of my video. It's the picture of my video. And while they was married, while Matt Barnes and Gloria Gavon was married, Derek Fisher, she was having an affair with Derek Fisher. And my thing is, you know, why would and the thing that make it so bad was that he was the coach of the New York Knicks, and Matt Barnes was playing with the Knicks at the time. And what I don't understand about this whole situation, right? How can you do that to your teammate? You're on the same team and you screwing the man's wife? I don't understand. I don't understand that. So, what make it so bad when I read the story, if y'all don't just Google it, and you'll see plenty of stories. But from the story, I read that I think this was like at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and one of Matt Barnes' sons calls him calls 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 him and says that somebody's in our house. And my thing is, can you imagine that your kids is in the house, your wife is in the house, and she having sex with another man while your kids in the other room? How can you be so trifling? I mean, my whole point of this story was that, you have class. You make all this money and you can't go get a hotel room and the business. You ain't got enough class that you're gonna do that around your kids. I've dated women with children, and we always, I never try to do that while the kids there. I have more respect for that. So I mean, you ain't got no respect for yourself that you can't do it outside your house. I mean, that's just plain trifling. And Derek Fisher is very, very lucky, because some dudes would have killed, would have killed him for screwing that man's wife like that. That was wrong. That was so wrong. And then what gets me is that Derek Fisher is engaged to her now. Really. And what I don't get about these guys, right, you want to marry somebody that you met her by cheating on her husband. What I don't get about these dum dums, right, is that if they'll cheat on their husband for you, won't they cheat on you for somebody else? Or vice versa? He left his wife to be with you. Won't he leave you for another woman? I mean, people just don't get that, that what goes around comes around. When you do people wrong, it comes back to bite you. And I plead my hand to that. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm perfect because I've done dirt and I paid for it. You can't do people wrong and think you ain't gonna see it. Because God got a funny way of doing things. You think you're gonna get away with it, and you're really not. I mean, I just don't get these guys. If and I'm not, you know, saying it's okay to date married women, but if you're gonna handle your business, just know one thing. Don't take it serious. Have a little fun. I don't recommend it. But if you don't have a look, just take it as fun, nothing further. Because you can't take something like that serious. She out here doing dirt. And you gonna leave your happy home for that. These guys just get dumber and dumber and dumber. So let me finish the story. So now, once he found out that he was in his house, they say he drove, I think, 70 miles to the house and threatened to fight him. But Derek Fisher called the police. It was a big mess. I've been wanting to get on this subject, and I looked at an NBA TV game the other night. I think it was playing, I think the Bulls playing somebody the other night, a summer league game. And I heard Derek Fisher's voice. And I didn't even really want to watch it. Derek Fisher was one of um, my favorite guards coming out of the 90s and 2000s because, he was on, which one of my greatest teams of all time history. Even though they didn't win a championship, but I say the 1997, 1998 Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, they were loaded, man. And, I just don't understand how Dale Harris couldn't help them win a championship. Listen to this lineup. They had Nick Van Exel. They had Eddie Jones. They had Rick Fox. They had Robert Horry, and they had Shaq. They had Elden Campbell, Derek Fisher, and Kobe Bryant was coming off the bench. And that year, Kobe Bryant made an All-Star team at 19. So, I mean, man, Derek Fisher was part of 3 Lakers championship teams, 2000, 2001, 2002. Three-peated. Then he went to, I think he went to Utah. But something had happened with his daughter and her eye or something. And he went back to LA and won 2 more championships. Then I think he finished his career with the Thunder, So went to the final with them, but they lost Miami in 5 games. But it just messed my memory up of him. That you would just do something that dirty. That the point of my story is, fellas, And ladies gonna get mad, but I'm gonna tell the truth. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Don't try to wife a hoe, cause at the end of the day, she gonna be a hoe. We can sit here and sugarcoat all you want to. That was pure T trifling. That you gonna bring that man and have sex. Can you imagine how them kids felt? I mean, that was trifling. You can't go nowhere else. I think about Derek Fisher and all that great stuff he did. You went through all of that. You lost your kid. You got kids and your wife. You left her for this tramp. Because believe me, what goes around comes around. If she do Matt Barnes like that, ain't she gonna do you like that? I mean, but you can't really put it all on her either, because both of them, I think both of them deserve each other. And ain't no good luck coming out of that, because when you mistreat people, but when you mistreat people, it comes back to you. So then, the story gonna get good now that he took her to court because from what the story I read, she was taking money. She was taking money out his bank account, and she was putting it into businesses, and she was doing she was stealing his money. I mean, man, she was doing him dirty, man. But at the end of the day, she had to pay all that money back that she stole. So, Matt Barnes, I just hope that he stays strong, and I hope that, he can move on from this. And this should be a lesson for everybody. Don't marry no hoe. Because at the end of the day, you can't change a hoe. That was a whole move for you to do that to bring. I mean, you're gonna have respect for your kids. You want some sex that bad that you gotta bring around your children? I had no respect for him, man. And as much as I like the Lakers team, as much as I like Derek Fisher, I like him as a player, but as a man, I don't respect that dude anymore. And it's just sad that, your image, people don't think about their image. People just don't be thinking. But I'm glad that Matt Barnes, you know, got his money, and I hope that he can move forward with his life. That's all I got. Y'all take it easy.